Hello everyone, and welcome back to Strata Games. I'm Matthew, and I want to show off some fun, common magic items that I've designed from Dota 2 for you to give your low-level players for D&D 5th edition. Most of these items fit the standard for a common item, which is that they shouldn't mechanically benefit the character in a significant way. In other words, these are mostly fluff items, but they can be super fun to give to players that will find a creative use for them. I'm looking at giving out several of these in my next campaign. The first item on our list is the Blades of Attack. Whenever you make an unarmed strike attack, you may deal slashing damage instead of bludgeoning damage. These blades aren't really going to change a whole lot for most characters. Slashing and bludgeoning damage are almost always effectively the same. But if your party's monk would like to use the slasher feat from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, this would be a sweet little way to change up the usual play pattern of the unarmed strike. Now our second item is called the Fluffy Hat. While attuned to this magical hat, your hit point maximum is increased by 1. Once I started making common items, some of them I just had an idea that I thought was hilarious. The idea of walking around a high fantasy city in your dark, roguish leathers wearing this? It just feels too good to pass up. The Fluffy Hat does have a small mechanical benefit, but it's only going to be very good at low levels. And with the attunement requirement, it's not going to be used very much once you have better items to attune to. Next up, our third item is the Gauntlets of Strength. Your carrying capacity is increased by 3 times your strength score while you wear these gloves. These gauntlets aren't going to be making a huge impact if your game doesn't track carrying capacity, but if you do, you could give a small boost to the weak little wizard who can barely carry his tome, or you could just let the Goliath carry around even more stuff. Either way, this could be a nice little item for a party who's played way too much Skyrim and just won't drop those dang cheese wheels on the ground. Our fourth item today is the Mantle of Intelligence. Your intelligence score is 11 while you wear this mantle. It has no effect on you if your intelligence is 11 or higher without it. The idea of a magic item that increases your intelligence to just above average just cracks me up. If one of your players decided to dump intelligence, like every single non-wizard or artificer does these days, you can help them out a little with this mantle. Alternatively, instead of giving this to a player, you may find it more fun to give it to some kind of animal or beast. The players will absolutely love running into a talking owlbear, and you'll love it too. Until they decide to kill him. Moving on to number 5, the Mithril Hammer, or Mithril any other weapon. Mithril is a light metal. A weapon made from mithril weighs 1/10 its normal weight and can't be considered a heavy weapon. This is basically the same idea as mithril armor, but changed to suit a weapon. Mithril Hammer is nice because it would allow a small character to use a weapon that is normally heavy. This won't have a huge impact on game balance, but it will allow your halfling or gnome player to use a great sword or great axe. This is a fantasy game. Are you telling me that Cloud can wield a sword like this, but Frodo can't use a great axe without disadvantage? Anyway, on to number 6. The Sage's Mask. While attuned to this mask, you can use it as your spellcasting focus. This may seem a little more powerful than some of the other items on this list, but there's a very special reason that it's on here. How many times has your new player forgotten that they need a spellcasting focus in one of their hands to cast a spell? This mask will completely alleviate that problem. With a spellcasting focus right on their face, you won't have to worry about reminding players about that annoying little rule until they decide to attune to 3 better items. But hopefully they'll know the rules by then. And finally, our 7th item for today is the Staff of Wizardry, which reads, while holding the staff, you appear more wizardly. As an action, you can make an illusion of a long gray beard, a tall, pointy blue hat, or faintly glowing stars on your clothes. You can only have one illusion going at a time, and you can dismiss any of the illusions as an action. The Staff of Wizardry will be so much fun to give to a creative player. These kind of items always feel like they might not do a whole lot, but in the right hands, they can add a ton of fun to a roleplay situation. It's very similar to items like the Dread Helm, or the Cloak of Billowing from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Just give this to your party next session, and I'm sure they'll do great things with it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And send this to another player or dungeon master that you think will enjoy it. These items were inspired by Dota 2, and you can help me make more like them if you join our Discord at the link in the description.